2019 has finally arrived, but despite the fact that January now heads the calendar page, the late season conditions have been anything but winter-like. Several members of our team are still engaged in the hunt and make the best of the warmer than normal conditions by focusing on unpressured deer near the best local food sources. That is where we find Mike Reed. One day after seeing his top buck, one he calls Curly, Mike heads back to the same redneck blind overlooking a bean field.
We left most of our stuff in the blind last night since we knew we were coming back here, so just got the cameras in the bag. We're going to sneak up into the stand and fingers crossed Curly shows back up. It's January 1st. Happy New Year's, everybody. Cooper and I are still down at the farm here after Curly. As you can see, we had a great encounter last night. He just didn't come closer than 200 yards, and I was trying to be patient, and he went back in the timber and never presented another shot. So we're back in the same set. We left all of our stuff in the blind. Better conditions today. That cold front came through yesterday afternoon and evening. It's about 22 degrees right now with a wind chill of about 12 degrees. And we're hoping or expecting the deer to move early. And with any luck, Curly is still bedded up in that corner. It's going to come back out in the beans right here. Not really any other deer I'm looking for. He's the primary target. And hopefully they start moving early and we'll get a chance at him tonight.
The beans in front of Mike's blind begin to draw in deer, but thus far Curly is not among them. That same evening, 190 miles to the northeast in western Illinois, Kane Gillette settles into his New Year's Day location, a soft-sided redneck blind overlooking a picked cornfield near a bedding area.
Well, welcome to the afternoon hunt on January 1st, 2019. I hope everybody's off to a great new year. This is a pretty exciting way for me to start mine. I haven't hunted in about 3 weeks, so it feels really good to be out here tonight. I'm set up over a cut corn plot. It's actually the cut corn plot that I had scouted last week, and I checked it out. I checked the camera here, and I just wanted to see what this plot looked like and how much food was left. Temps dropped really good last night. And I shouldn't say it's nothing crazy for late season. It's 27 degrees right now, but we had about a 20-degree drop, and I don't know what to expect on what I'll see tonight. I know there's several mature bucks on this side of the farm, and this is probably the primary food source over here. So looking forward to tonight's hunt. I'm actually self-filming. It's about one time a year I do this. It's not my favorite, but this is one of the unique situations where I feel a little more comfortable with it, just being in a blind and a deer over a food source where they necessarily won't be running through it by any means. So I should have time to get the camera and my bow on them. So hopefully tonight's the night, but either way, anticipation's high and it feels good to be back out here. I just shot that buck I called Deuces. I couldn't tell if I was a touch low or if I smoked him. I had deer within 3 yards of this blind. I mean, just crazy. Oh, I don't know whether to be super excited or how to feel yet, so. Blood.
Despite a good blood trail, Kane walks up on the buck, spotting him bedded ahead. Fearing that he might jump the buck and make the recovery more difficult, Kane decides to come back at first light in the morning. Back in southeastern Iowa, the deer begin to pour out into the beans in front of Mike Reed's blind.
One of the fawns is going to run off through. You ready? Are you ready? Just making sure you have the focus. Yeah. You ready? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna shoot. I think I smoked him. He's hurt pretty bad. There he goes, buddy. What a relief. That's our 5th encounter with Curly. I was worried after last night I might have missed my opportunity, but all the same deer started coming out tonight. The same bucks. We had over 30 deer at this end of the bean field. And he came out right behind that soft side blind. And I said if he gives me a chance tonight, the first time he turns broadside and clears the other deer, I'm going to take a shot at him. Just running out of days to hunt. That's the deer. That was my target deer all season. And it's pretty cool to get him down. I'm pumped. We've had a great late season. My wife got a great buck. My grandfather, who taught me how to hunt and instilled my passion in hunting, got a great buck, and now I got a great buck, so I'm pumped. Thanks, Cooper. Down in the field.
January 1st. Happy New Year's to me. What a great way to kick off 2019. I'm so happy the quest for Curly is complete.
Hey boy,
Hey boy,
that dirty.
he's dead.
Well, this is the buck I call Curly, and he was quite the nemesis this year. Last night was the 5th encounter with this buck throughout the year, as I mentioned to you guys, and I've never had a buck get under my skin quite like this one did. All in all, I've had a really great season. Cooper and I had tons of great encounters, lots of encounters with Curly, some other mature bucks, so it's been a great season for me, a lot of fun, where every time you go to the stand, you're having opportunity at mature animals. There's not really a better way to cap off the season. This is the buck I wanted, and we got him, so I couldn't be happier, and already looking forward to shed season and next year.
As Mike celebrates completing his season-long quest for Curly, Kane Gillette heads out on the blood trail of his Illinois buck. This time, he is joined by his 2 favorite trackers.
Just got back out to the farm and brought the kids out today, so we're gonna get back on the blood, and we're gonna try and pick up this last blood. I actually just saw it right now. So we're gonna head up here and get on the trail and hope the kids can find this deer for me. Come on, Emma, follow the blood. Gigi, you see the blood? Where is it? Where's the blood? Where'd it go? Oh, I think I see it right here.
I see it!
You see what?
I see it!
See him, Gigi?
Here.
Wait here. What do you guys think?
It's cool. It's cool.
I can't believe you found him. Thanks for finding him for me. You were good at it. Everything worked out and I'm really excited about it. So icing on the cake was to be able to come out here this morning, and he did. He died in his bed last night where we left him. I wanted to play it safe and I'm glad I did. He didn't go any farther, and even better yet, I got to come out here and track him with Emma and Grayson. And I've been waiting a really long time to do that. So that was a really cool experience for me. And this is just gonna end up being one of my best hunts ever, just from the way the plan worked out and getting to share it with the kids.
The new year has arrived, bringing with it great action from Mike Reed and Kane Gillette. However, I am still trying to fill my first buck tag. With warmer than normal temperatures and the wrong wind for the big bottom field, I'm not able to go after Scarface and the big 8-pointer again before the season closes. Instead, I spend my last hunt sitting over the greenest food source on the farm, waiting on an old small rack deer I called the tube buck. Unfortunately, he never appears, and as light begins to fade, I close the season with a doe. Jared Mills' season comes to a similar end. He spends the majority of his final week hunting his river farm, hoping to encounter the big 10-pointer he has been hunting throughout the late season. The buck never shows up for the appointed meeting, and like mine, Jared's last tag of the 2018 season is wrapped around a doe's leg. But Jared's final hunt of the season is an exciting one. Returning to the project farm, he encounters a hot doe fawn that inspires an impressive chase involving several bucks. With no pictures or encounters since November 11th, the day he missed the buck, Owen Riegler finally gives up the hunt for the giant typical 9-pointer he calls Uno. Deciding to hunt a completely new area, Owen enjoys a beautiful late-season hunt, but like Jared and myself, he ultimately ends his season without seeing another mature buck. Caleb Byers continues to hunt hard with his dad John, giving up his own quest for Nemo and Dakota, the two giant bucks he spent his entire season hunting. After many evenings and a lot of great deer activity, Caleb and John reached the final day of their hunt. On January 9th, they placed their remaining hopes on a redneck blind overlooking a cornfield.
Well, it's January 9th, bottom of the 9th here for us. This is Dad's last night to hunt. We have a major cold front that came in. And I say major, and it's still pretty warm for this time of year, but we at least have it down to 26 degrees right now. All we need is the right buck to step out, and we'll be in the chips tonight, so let's get it done.
Tonight's the night.
I think so.
Stock's clear.
You ready?
You ready?
smoked him. Absolutely smoked him. Oh my gosh, congrats, Dad. Oh, yes. Good job. Yes. Well, Dad, I love how it came together like this because, you know, we've worked our tail off to kill that deer.
Every night.
And yeah, every night. And for you to kill him on your last evening to hunt, it just couldn't get any better than that. Couldn't be more happy with the shot. Man, you smoked him. And oh man,
There's deer going down that ridge over there.
yeah. They don't want to leave the food.
They're gonna have to, because we're gonna go get our hands on this
Yes,
deer.
we are. Let's go.
I want to see it in the light. We just climbed out of the blind. We're gonna go over here, get a tag on this deer, and admire him for a little while.
Let's go.
First muzzleloader buck for me. Here he is. My first ever muzzleloader buck.
Congrats.
Got a little drop here.
Dad's always had kind of a black cloud following around for deer hunting, and
For sure.
and I can't thank him enough for introducing me to the outdoors at such an early age, and you know, the love for it grew because of him taking me.
Though Caleb Byers gave up his own late season hunting, he was more than happy to do that in order to help his father shoot his biggest buck. As we all know, or will soon learn, trophies fade. Memories are the true reward for a long season well spent. The end of the 2018 season produced a memory that Caleb and John will never forget. The Byers weren't the only hunters in Iowa creating a memory on January 9th. 100 miles to the east, Matt Thede is also in a blind hoping to fill his final tag.
January 9th. It's been a really, really warm late season. This is my third sit, really. It's only because we only had a couple north winds. Bottom of the 9th, down by 3, bases loaded, 2 outs, full count. I love being in these situations because I know that I'm not in charge, I'm not in control. So see if God can make something happen here tonight, and we'll see what happens. Well, this was a pretty awesome hunt. Deer got a little bit spooky, but he was about 35 yards, and I figured it was now or never, and let loose the arrow, and the Hoyt did its job, and 35 yards in a short track job, and found him. So I couldn't be more happy to end the season. I had a super fun time, and what a great reward for hunting over something you put so much time and effort into.
And just like that, the season is over. Well, the season is never truly over, just the hunting part. The quest itself never ends, it just changes form. Though Jared Mills tagged one of his best bucks to date, his story continued after the season ended. The Project Farm, one of his favorite hunting spots, sold during the late winter and he lost permission. Jared spent the last day before the farm changed hands turkey hunting the property one last time. Not only did he shoot a fat gobbler with his bow, he also found a very impressive dead buck.
Cooper and I had an awesome time this morning. Couldn't have asked for a better way to end the story on the Project Farm.
When one door closes, another door opens. During the off-season, Jared moved back to eastern Iowa, returning him closer to his and Mike's river farm. After running cameras shortly after the season, Jared got photos of his #1 buck, assuring him of at least one property and one great buck for the coming season. Caleb and Taylor Byers had an incredible season, Their story didn't end there either. Caleb was disappointed to later find the buck he had hunted all season, the one he called Nemo, dead. Based on the buck's level of decay, it was clear that Caleb had spent the entire season hunting a dead deer.
Smile.
Cheese.
Though Owen tagged an awesome old giant-bodied buck he called Crabs, it was the big 9-pointer, the one he missed on November 11th, that continued to haunt him well after the season ended. However, he did find antlers from several other great bucks, like Picket Fence, a big 4-year-old that Owen encountered in November.
Well, the day keeps getting better. I was just crawling through some TSI on another south-facing slope. That's old Picket Fence.
And Digits, a giant 5x5 that Owen saw twice during early November, including the night when he killed Crabs.
And lo and behold, I found the number 1 buck I was hoping to find his sheds. Other than Uno, it's that Digits buck. It was the buck that was out there with the Crabs buck, that real nice buck.
Surprisingly, Owen didn't find the giant non-typical, the one he called Trey, that disappeared in late summer. Owen had feared that buck was dead from EHD. So there is still hope that Trey may re-enter this story at some point. Though I wounded the buck I was hunting and ended the season without filling a buck tag, I knew the farm was starting to shape up after the severe bout of EHD it suffered way back in 2012. Buck numbers are returning to normal, evidenced by the many shed antlers I found during the winter. But it was not a shed antler that caused my heart to skip a beat in late March. Rather, it was a skull with 2 large 4-point sides attached.
Hey Bill, right here in front of me.
That's him right there. Golly. Because I know we walked this and there's nothing here but really low vegetation. So it died sometime after we stopped looking for him. Right there, you can see a couple little knobs in the timber. That's where we found the sheds off this buck last winter. Not this past one, but the one before that. Right there on those little knobs, right, what are we, 40 yards, 30 yards away from the spot where we found the sheds. I mean, it's cool to find him back. And I'll get a salvage tag, but it's a shame that I wasn't able to recover that deer right after I shot him.
I found Big 7 dead just 200 yards from the house, in a spot I had passed often during the weeks after the shot. I still have no idea when he died or how he wound up in that open field, but at least I know now that he didn't survive the harsh winter in his weakened condition. We feel optimism. All the signs point to an even better 2019. Once the summer work is done and the bows are hitting their mark, our minds easily drift ahead to cold, crisp mornings when every crunch of leaves will grab our full attention. The cold wind in our face, the steel gray sky that spits snow. If only we could be there now. We can't wait to be neck deep in the quest. We dream of the day when we will once again be chasing November.